So, twice a year, we invite our customers, restaurateurs, shopkeepers, and more export customers to visit us here, either in the shop in Borough, and here for the first time, we're going to take the opportunity to introduce our customers to the work we do.
Actually, everybody talks about cheese maturing best in caves, this sort of dark, cool environment, because that's what they do in France, and there's this whole thing about having a cave as the best environment for maturing this kind of cheese. But actually, if we look back at the books, you see that nobody was talking about putting their Lancashire in a cave. People would put British territorials in the attic, and they would have shutters to adjust the airflow across the cheeses, and these were cheeses that were being matured in a much warmer, drier environment than what we would think of normally, and what we actually purpose-built here. And what we did when we did our first experiments was we kept one in our maturing rooms, one in the Borough shop, where it's a bit warmer and a bit drier, and one that actually, when we compared what was in the shop, just a little warmer and a little drier. What we had done here, we actually like the maturing conditions in the shop better for the style of cheese. Yeah, and it opened up a whole host of other questions about, if that's what it means for Lancashire, what does it mean for cheddar? What does it mean for all these other cheeses that would also be matured at a warmer temperature? So I feel like we're at the beginning stages of this whole sort of chapter. Yeah.
We spend a lot of time on farms visiting producers and selecting cheese. Cheeses can vary tremendously from one day's production to the next, and so selecting the cheese is a very important part of our business, but a part of our business that many people are unaware of. Cheeses that have come into us very fresh, particularly goat and some soft cow's milk cheeses, they come in so fresh that they might actually require a period of drying. So here we have the drying room. Cheeses that are in here at the moment are some very young innises, logs and bricks. They will be here overnight. We'll take probably 10 to 15% of the moisture out of the cheese before taking it into the next room. So again, mainly goats and sheep's milk, mould ripened, georinded, more candied and rinded cheeses here. And so that will be the next stage where the rind is really fully evolved. And then the final room that these mould ripened goat's cheeses will finish off in is this room here. Where they might have a short period of chilling before going onto the packing line. So here we have the wig Carlo is a cheese made by Mary Holbrook. It arrives with us very young, so this arrived with us on Monday. It was produced on the 15th, 16th, 17th and 18th of May, and Monday was the 21st, so these were only a few days old. So the cheese is having some surface moisture removed from it at this stage, so that we can start to grow the rind in a controlled fashion, which will happen next door. This room is much warmer, and you could call this the nursery. So this is where we're growing rind on very young cheeses. In some cases, particular cheeses will like to spend their whole lives in here, but in most cases, they only spend a certain amount of time in the early stages while the rind is forming. But Cardo is one that likes to spend most of its life in here. So what we looked at next door was very young cheese, and this is about 3 weeks old. So this cheese was made on the 4th of May. We're washing the surface of the cheese with water on a cloth several times a week. So we're cleaning undesirable molds off, and we're also creating an environment on the surface of the cheese which is favourable to grow the kind of rind that we do want, which is to say the pH is a little bit higher, the acidity is a bit lower, and it's a more hospitable environment for this pretty rind to grow. This is the hard cheese room. So in here is a stock of all the cheddars. There'll be some Stilton, some Stichelton, there'll be Cheshires, there'll be Lancashires, Berkswells, Coulets, a bit of everything really.
This is probably going to be kept at 11 to 12 degrees, about 90% humidity. And this is just the working stock of the cheese that we need over the course of the next 2 or 3 weeks. So in this room, at the moment we're maturing Lancashire. Kirkham's Lancashire is a cheese we've sold from the beginning of our, 35 years ago we've been selling Kirkham's Lancashire, but always in its more traditional, young, lactic, creamy 2 to 3 month version. More recently, we've been aging certain batches that we've selected out that we feel are fit for a longer maturing, and these cheeses that are in here now will be aged for between 10 to 12 months rather than being sold at the 2 to 3 months that the young Lancashire will be sold at. We also have some other hard cheeses in this tunnel here. Red Leicesters, for example, just as we've been experimenting with a much longer maturing of Lancashire, so we're starting to do the same thing with Red Leicester. So to have a cheese that would be sold more normally at a 4 or 5 month age profile with a slightly more acidic, slightly more lactic profile of taste. With another 6 to 8 months of maturing, the cheeses have become much meatier, more savoury, richer, and those cheeses those cheeses that are going to go for onward maturing are also being matured just here. And this is where the cheese will finish its journey, at least as far as Neal's Yard Dairy is concerned. Having travelled from one of the maturing rooms, it will arrive with a lovely packing team, who will then enter those cheeses onto their systems, wrap them, box them, and at the very end there will be the cold room which will accommodate the boxes, and the pallets will then be set aside for onward shipment.